Late-night transit strips away our normal safety nets. There are no crowds to blend into, and you're sealed in a moving metal tube underground. For a young woman riding alone, this physical isolation amplifies the sudden discomfort of noticing the passengers directly across the aisle, a single woman wedged tightly between two older men. The anxiety starts with her eyes. The seated woman is locked onto the girl with a relentless, unblinking stare, turning a quiet commute into a highly targeted, uncomfortable standoff. She tries breaking the tension by checking her phone, but every time she glances back up, those eyes are fixed entirely on her face. Beside the staring woman, the two older men display their own bizarre behavior. They sit in absolute silence, completely rigid, never turning their heads to acknowledge the girl's obvious mounting panic. When trapped in an isolated environment, the human brain hyperfixates on the most obvious visual anomaly, the staring eyes, and entirely filters out the surrounding context. The dynamic shifts when a tall man in a trench coat boards the train and takes the empty seat directly next to the terrified girl. He looks straight ahead, showing zero reaction to the bizarre standoff across the aisle. His apparent obliviousness leaves the girl feeling completely stranded in her own terror. The suffocating silence breaks violently as the train pulls into the next station, decelerating until the sliding doors finally click open. Without a word, the tall man grabs the girl's arm and drags her backward out of the train car onto the concrete platform. The doors slide shut, rolling away into the dark, and leaving the screaming girl stranded on an empty platform with her attacker. In high-stress situations, our fight-or-flight response prioritizes sudden physical movement. The brain instantly logs the grab as the immediate, ultimate danger. Relying solely on that instinctual fear response causes us to overlook the environmental details that change the context of the entire encounter. We are experiencing information asymmetry, where lacking a single piece of data distorts our entire perception of reality. To see what we missed, we need to rewind the timeline to the exact second the man in the trench coat boarded the car. Stepping onto the train, he immediately scans the car to establish behavioral baselines and identify any deviations in the environment. He maintains a neutral gaze to monitor the two men without alerting them to his scrutiny, calculating a response to their presence without tipping them off. Survival instinct often relies on feigning ignorance, buying crucial seconds to calculate an escape from a superior hidden threat. Looking at this split-screen diagram, we can see the physiological differences in the face. An aggressive stare requires tight facial muscle tension, but the woman on the train exhibits the complete muscular slackness around the eyes, characteristic of a deceased body. That impossibly rigid posture marks the physical onset of rigor mortis, locking her joints in place. This schematic illustrates the mechanics. The two men act as a structural wedge, inward pressure keeping the dead woman upright. The tall man calculates his extraction, pitting his element of surprise against their delayed reaction time as the window ticks down. Human cognitive bias compels us to assign active intent to a staring face, even an inanimate one. This blinds us to the subtle, mechanical actions of the actual perpetrators. Back on the station platform, the girl is still screaming, entirely misunderstanding the chaotic extraction. The man backs away and holds his open hands up to calm her. He quickly explains his seemingly violent actions. The staring woman was a corpse being transported by the two men beside her. The brain's panic response created a perfect inversion of reality. It processed a lifeless victim as an active threat and a savior as a violent attacker. By focusing all its defensive energy on a dead stare, the mind created a total blind spot, completely ignoring the true predators sitting inches away. Our instinctual fear responses are highly susceptible to misdirection. The most dangerous threats rarely announce themselves. They sit quietly, waiting for us to look the wrong way.